Hey dolls! I am doing the Schuh story tag. I saw Karissa Pukas, I hope I've said that right. Her channel, I think it started off as Saturday Night Alright or something like that. But yeah, I saw that she did a video on 7 pairs of shoes, and she basically told the story behind those shoes. So I thought that was a really good idea, and like, I love shoes in general. I have loads, and it was quite hard to choose 7 pairs that mean something. So I thought that I would kind of do the tag as well. My pairs kind of start with like ones that haven't got a massive story to then end in with like my favourite ones that do kind of have a fairly big story behind them. So let's get started. So pair 1 are these these I think are like the oldest ones I have still, are these black, they're from New Look. They're like silky, what do you call them, satin. They're black satin wedges. They're not very high, so they're quite easy to walk in, and they've got kind of like a satin lace at the front, and they've got this kind of like cut out detailing, and they've got kind of a fold over view around them, pattern around them I should say. These shoes are meaningful to me. These were actually the very first shoes that I wore. These are the first shoes that I wore for the very first time when I went out clubbing. I've only ever been clubbing 3 times. 3 times? Yeah, 3 times. And the first time I went, these were the shoes that I wore. My feet didn't start giving out until nearer to the end of the night. By the time we went to the last club where we stayed, halfway through then I was like, oh, my feet really hurt. But these aren't too high. These, apart from flats, these are the smallest heel I have. So yeah, they are quite comfortable being small. But yeah, I partied the night away. It was November, so it was quite cold. I'd only just started university in like near the end of September, so it was kind of like a very first kind of group going out with everyone in my uni course. So that was 2010? No, yeah, 2010, 2011 maybe. No, 2010, because 2011 I went to Florida. Yeah, so 2010 I got these shoes, and it was an amazing night. And it was everyone else that I was friends with at school who went to other universities used to say how much they spent on a night out. I spent £15. That's like a really cheap night out, and we went to about 4 different places. We went to Witherspoon's, Oxygen, which is like a shop bar, Yates, I will get it right, Yates. Then some weird one that I've never been to, that I tried tequila for the first time and quite enjoyed it, apart from getting it halfway across my face. And then we went to Coalition. So yeah, 4 places, something like that. Yeah, and these babies were amazing, and I got the bus there, and I got a taxi back. Did I get a taxi back? Maybe. Yeah, I got a taxi back, but I got the bus there and met everyone there. I walked in these, like, around Brighton. It can be quite tiring because it's like up hills and down hills and like squiffy, and then we walked around the beach. So yeah, these were a lifesaver. I rambled on that first pair. They're not that amazing. Right, my second pair is a quite fairly new purchase. These actually are the latest pair to my addition. Are these flats from Forever 21. and they're wrong way around. And they're just these basic little pointy flats. They're quite flats, and they've got this like laser cut out detailing. They're very simple. They are suede, and I do love these. And the story behind it was I was going for a job interview. I went for the first part, and then when I came home, my dad complained, saying like, oh, you really should be like wearing black shoes when you go for an interview. And I don't actually own black flats, so when I was on my, when I got to, or before I went to the interview, I stopped off in another in Forever 21, and I was looking for a cheap pair. And bearing in mind, these weren't cheap, what I was trying to go for, because I was going to go to Primark. So these were actually like £17, something like that. So I paid for them. I went to the toilets, changed my shoes, put them on, went for my job interview, left my job interview. Bearing in mind, my job interview was on my birthday, so it was kind of freaking out a bit. I then got home, got changed, started to relax for my 22nd birthday, and then I got a phone call saying that if I wanted it, I got the job. Well, there's stuff behind that, but I'm not currently working. But these were the shoes, and I feel like these shoes helped me so much, like, to get the job. I don't know why, but like, I've never had someone phone me up the same day as my interview and say, oh, if you want it, you got it. So it was kind of crazy. So these are like special good luck shoes, maybe. So they're my only smart flats. So pair 3 are these shoes that I've worn 3 times, and they're by Colin, Stuart, and they look like this. They're open-toed, peep toes, whatever you call them. They've got lace detail on the front, and they've got a cut-out or laser cutouts at the back, or just cut out at the back, and they actually zip up, and they are fluorescent yellow in the inside, which I think is super cool. And the story behind these, I got these from Victoria's Secret in Florida. And I convinced my partner. He was like, oh, I want to buy you something while we're out here, and we went into Victoria's Secret, and I was very intimidated because it was in 2011, so I was still kind of getting to grips with myself, and I was like, I don't really want to look at underwear and stuff like that. And I was with his whole family, so I was like, I'll just look at the shoes. The shoes I originally wanted were not in my size, so I then thought I'd have these. I thought these were like amazing. Now I think they're slightly stripper-esque, because they've got slight platform, and they're quite chunky heel. They're not too high, they're higher than the first pair. But I do actually really like these, but I need painted toenails, because like obviously the peep toe, and like I think the back, like having the back open is really strange though. Like I'm not 100% sure about like the whole back, but like it's got a thick heel on it, which is good. I've still unfortunately left the price tag on, which were these were $39.99, so like $40 basically. And this was the very first purchase I made in Florida, and I had a massive Victoria's Secret bag, and all that was in it was these. So yeah, whoop whoop to my Victoria's Secret stripper shoes. But I would keep these until I have to get rid of them, because they are amazing. They're really comfortable to walk in, and I just absolutely love the fact that they're bright yellow. And it's kind of like the first massive holiday I've ever had with my partner and his parents and sister. So my next pair are these leopard print platform boots, ankle boots. They are suede on these bits, and I really have no idea what this material is. It's kind of like a fake cow fur, because it's quite short and stipply, and it's got lace obviously at the front. It is a massive platform. I'll just put that one down. It is a massive platform, and they are incredibly high. Like, I think it's just because the angle is very steep compared to like other ones, because like the foot actually starts, that's how big the platform is, and then the foot literally just goes straight up in the air and then sits on this hill. And the story behind these is I saw them online and I was like, I really want them, but they were like too expensive, and then they didn't have any of my size. I think I looked on ASOS for, but they were similar. I don't think they were exact. And one day when I was wandering around in Brighton, a new store opened up, and I went in there twice in one day because I was undecided whether I wanted them or not. In the end, I went like on a freak shopping spree with my student finance, and I picked them up, and they were about the same price as they were online, so I didn't save any money, but they had my size, and like I think they were the only pair in my size as well. Like, it was the last pair in my size. They are so hard to walk in, especially when I walk everywhere, so like I generally, if I wear heels, I walk everywhere on them, and cobblestones are not the best things to walk in when you've got new shoes, so like I scuffed them slightly, but luckily they do come with spare heel caps. But I do absolutely love these. I went to a pub in these with my mum and almost ended up on my bum, and I had people laughing at me and stuff because I was trying so hard to walk over these cobblestones. For some reason, this pavement, half of it was cobblestones for no reason than just to humiliate me. So yes, and I can't remember if I wore these at any other time, but that was probably the most memorable, because like I was with my mum and my brother, and then I almost, like, literally bum was about this far off the ground. So yeah, these were probably the wrong idea to go walking in cobbles in, but I absolutely adore these, and these actually sit on my Blu-ray post, kind of like a homage to my amazing shoes. We've got 3 more left. The next one is pair 5, and these are my Lady Gaga-esque heelless heels, platform things. They are suede black. I cannot tell you what the store was called that I picked them up in, because it was one of those cheapo stores. I was unsure about these studs because, like, well, first of all, I was unsure I could walk in them because they don't look like you could walk in them. They have that much platform on them, which is immense considering there is no heel. But they are the most comfiest shoes to walk in ever. I have never found such strange high shoes that I can walk in like I was wearing slippers. It's very strange. Being that they were cheap, they, believe it or not, these exact same shoes were in another store for almost £40. I got these for £9.99, so that's like a bargain in my eyes, like a stupid bargain. And like the studs are actually screwed on, they're not glued or anything, so if they do come loose you just tighten them up again. They're just amazing. They did do the right idea that they have like little flat studs on the side, on this side, so that they don't actually rub together when your feet are together, and then they've got studs up this side. I wore these. Ew, there was a bug in them. Ah, everything's falling over. I wore these, wherever that did go, I don't know. I wore these when I went to Las Vegas, and I wore this black lipsy dress that I absolutely love. I might put a picture in somewhere. Yeah, I wore these and I walked up Las Vegas Strip in these. We went we were staying in the Mirage, so we left the Mirage and started walking up, and then eventually we got into a taxi because we didn't realise where the Hard Rock Cafe was, the one that's on the strip, not the hotel. We got off, I wandered around there, I went to see the volcano outside the Mirage after dinner in these. I even wandered around in the casino wearing these. I was just like, I thought I was on top of the world, and they made my outfit look so amazing. I also got this ASOS belt with like studs on. Just the whole look looked just so crazy and amazing. Where else have I worn these? I've worn these shoes when I went out with my fiance during Christmas, and I had this like fur coat on, and I slipped over in a petrol station because I was messing around. These like shoes are just like a godsend of bargainness, but amazement as well. These are like my loves. If I had to get rid of all my shoes and keep one pair, these are the pair that I would keep, purely because they are so high but so easy to walk in. What the hell? Where was I going with that one? So yeah, I'm pretty sure I've worn these a lot of other places as well. If I could wear these all day, every day, I would. And for anyone who isn't sure if you can walk in them, I'm not the most graceful person sometimes walking in heels, but I've worn these for hours and hours, and they're so comfortable. I've walked, as I said previously, if I have to wear heels, I'll walk everywhere with them. Like, I can walk from here to my train station, which is about half an hour away, in heels. So these are so comfortable to wear, and they mean so much to me. Right, my sixth pair. These are Toms. If no one knows what Toms are, they are basically these kind of like canvas shoes. You buy a pair, and it says in there, with every pair you purchase, Toms will give a new pair of shoes to a child in need, 1 for 1. So basically, you're paying for 2 pairs of shoes, but one pair of shoes goes to someone who actually really needs it because they don't have any shoes, something like that. And I actually have another pair, but they're not as memorable as these are. I got these when I went to Florida. It took me 2 weeks to find them. I eventually found them in Miami, but I think the story of finding them is more funnier than the actual, like, I found these shoes. They were cheaper in the US than the UK. These are slightly more expensive in the UK compared to the normal ones, because they've got, for some reason, they've got striped lines, so they're more expensive. I don't know, but these are so comfortable, and they've got leather insoles, and they're so loved. But the story behind these is, when we were going to Florida, I said that I wanted a pair of Toms. I wanted the basic ones because my friend bought a pair, and I was like, I really want to, but I want to save my money for going to America, blah blah blah. Got to America, searched for a store, and found a store that sold them. The store didn't actually say that it was in Disney, in downtown Disney, but we were driving, or we found a day where, no, basically we went to like a outlet mall and couldn't find them, and then we had kind of a lazy day, and me and my partner decided, because we were going to Hooters for dinner and like we weren't actually going out for the whole day apart from then, I said, well, why don't we just go and see if we can find these shoes. We got into our minivan. It was just me and my partner, and we were, well, it wasn't a minivan, it was like a people mover kind of thing, and we were driving. I put in the address that online told me where these shoes were. It was the actual Tom's official website. I put it into the sat nav, and away we went. It took us to a hotel. After we went through the gates at Disney, we didn't say that we were going to Disney because we weren't actually going to Disney, so we didn't pay because we weren't going to Disney. And we got to this hotel, and we were like, it's a hotel, it's not a shop, it's nothing. And we went into the hotel and asked them, and they were like, I don't understand what you're on about. And I told them the store, and they were like, I think that store's in downtown Disney, which is like on the shuttle bus or the little zipline thing car. And so we're like, oh, okay, well, we'll find it. And then the heavens opened, and one of the Florida storms, if you've never been in one, it's amazing. It hammers it down for a short period of time, and then it's sunny again. It's very strange. But we got out and it chucked it down. It was so bad we couldn't actually see after the wing wipers were going. We left and we were following this car. Clearly this car didn't know where we were going, or where they were going, because as we were leaving the site, he drove onto a pavement which we couldn't tell was a pavement until we realised we had to get off the pavement that had a curb about this high. So we had to go over this curb with like an almighty bang and then drive home in this torrential rain. And by the time we got back, we were soaked. We only had an hour to get like washed, dressed and ready to leave for dinner. It was horrendous, and we're not sure if what we did broke the car or not, because suddenly the aircon stopped working, so we had to get another one. But in the end we travelled all the way to Miami, and we were staying in Miami, and we went down Lincoln Avenue, something like that, where all the shops are, and I found Journeys. And I found these, which were so much better than the ones I originally wanted. So I brought these without a shadow of a doubt. That story, no, I don't think anyone believed us when we came back and said we just went over a massive curb without even knowing it. I don't even know how you can not notice that you were on road and then on pavement, but we did, so. These are probably, even when they get ruined, which they are starting to, I think these are still going to be on my shelf or something, like in memory of that strange day. Ugh, my final pair, which has a good story and a bad story to it, which is quite sad, are these. These shoes are the glitteriest, sparkliest, strangest shoes I have ever owned. They've got like a silver covered heel. They got a slight platform on them. They are very kind of angled there, but they were fairly comfortable to walk in. The only problems I've had was the glitter on them, where they've put so much glue on there. They've like stuck out and it like really sharp, so I've had to like clip them off. But it was for my 21st birthday. I wanted a whole kind of outfit and stuff new for my 21st, because it was going to be the first time my dad met my fiance's parents, and I found these and I was like, oh, I need these, I need these, I need these, and I bought them. And they stayed in my bedroom and everything, and then I got engaged. So then that made everything so much more special, because my uncle was coming down, my aunt was there, so it was kind of like the family's meeting, and I was engaged, so it was kind of celebrating my engagement as well as my birthday. It was like amazing. And the day came, I was a bit grumpy because like I had no time to get ready, so I didn't actually look the way I wanted to, but I put on my heels and I was like, oh, this is so amazing. Like, well, I was 21 a couple of days before that, but like it's like engagement kind of party thing, and like everything, and like my brother turned up, which was amazing because I don't really get to see much of my brother. And it was all going well, and then my brother kept getting text messages from my mum asking or saying that if you don't eat anything there, that I'll feed you when I see you, blah blah blah. And here's the sad part, that was the last day that was the last day I saw my brother. and it was the last day I saw my mum. It was my actual birthday, which was 2 days before my 21st, was the last time I spoke to my mum. On my birthday meal, I went downstairs to kind of say hi, thank you for everything. I got down there, my mum ignored me. It was all very awkward, and she left. And that was the last time I saw my mum. So that's now over a year. So these shoes have happy and sad kind of memory to them. I try and not dwell on the sad story behind them. I prefer to think about like my engagement and birthday and stuff. But unfortunately there is a sad side to this story with these shoes. But once again, these shoes sit on the pinnacle like that up there, just to kind of show off my all glittery shoes, which I wish I got slightly bigger size, because then they might have been slightly more comfortable. But yes, sad and happy story to these as well, so that is those. That is actually that is all 7 pairs for my shoe story. I hope you enjoyed my kind of stories behind these shoes, how I got them, why I got them, what I did when I had them. Some of them were a little bit rambled, I am terribly sorry. Some of them were funny, some of them were a bit like, oh okay, and some of them a little sad, but that's what happens in life. So yes, that is my shoe story tag video thing. I would love to see your 7 pairs of favourite shoes and like the story behind them, because like it's fun to like see everyone's shoes. Not that I'm like a foot fetish or anything, but like I like to see shoes because I have an obsession with shoes. Not as big as makeup, but I do have an obsession with shoes. So yes, give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed, subscribe if you have not, and I will see you dolls later.